Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem, breaking down for you 5 games from last night's NBA slate. It was a stack slate. If you listen to us here in the DFS Sweatshop, you were able to employ our stack strategy. That is where we attack the higher point total games, the juicier matchups, and we find 3, 4, maybe sometimes even 5 guys on one team that we really like to go out and stack and get us to the cash line. And before we jump into, of course, our regular formatting of the show, because you know I did not issue out a core four. When there, read my lips. When there are 5 or less games, I do not issue a core four because that is not how I'm playing. I am stacking to get to the cash line. So if it's 6 or more games, I will definitely release that core four for you. I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow because we know how good the DFS Jerusalem can get at hitting you with those core fours, helping you get to the cash line. Had a really nice night in the DFS sweatshop. Not so much for me. I played light, less than 5% of my buy-in. I really didn't like tonight's slate, was not comfortable. I ended up cashing in most of my lineups. My one lineup that I had on FanDuel, it cashed, and I doubled up on that buy-in. And on DraftKings, I ended up making $2 off of a $10 buy-in, so I took out 12. That was cool. Just didn't really like the slate. Didn't play very heavily. I played just enough to keep in touch with the DFS world, as I will never fall out of the loop from missing a game or missing a slate and not playing. But we've got some kings in the sweatshop tonight. The sweatshop went ham. All of y'all that employ your stacks, man, the sweatshop went in tonight. And we're going to talk about a couple of guys, man, that really, really made their presence felt and made our presence felt in the DFS NBA world. First guy we're going to talk about is Mike and Patsy. He is a usual suspect. This guy is always in the mix, and he went out and had a really, really nice showing, finishing first in the $27 9K fast break single entry, taking home $1,400. Really nice night for him. Had the same lineup in a couple other different spots, and he didn't finish first in all of those, but he did finish in the top 5 in just about every area where you did have this lineup. So shout out to you, Mike and Patsy, the big homie. Great showing for you in the DFS sweatshop. The logo sitting in first place. That's always a good thing. Next guy, I'm going to read you a little excerpt from something he had to say. This guy is very new to daily fantasy sports. He is a member, a paid subscriber. He's in the DFS Sweatshop Insider Access. So he pays his 2 punk-ass quarters a day that I and my family really appreciate. He pays his $2 quarters a day. And what he was able to do, parlay that into, was this. Oh my God, I don't know if this is real or not. This is my first time ever playing any type of DFS this year, and I can't thank y'all enough with all the advice that this group has given me. I've been rolling one line in the last 2 weeks and been winning at a consistent clip. So he's been winning consistently, but nothing like this. And you look at it, I don't know if you can see this. $63 buy-in, taking out $4,300. Shout out to Dennis Sin, my brother. Tonight, you are the king of the DFS Sweatshop, and I will definitely crown you on Twitter as soon as this show is over. Awesome night for the big homie. Let me tell you who he was rolling out. He had Raymond Felton. He had Devin Booker. He had Otto Porter, Markieff Morris, DeAndre Jordan, Eric Bledsoe, Carmelo Anthony, and Iman Shumpert. Excellent line for him, and it worked to the tune of what is this? What is this? This is like 75 times his buy-in. Awesome night for Dennis Sin, and that's why tonight you are the king of the DFS Sweatshop. And it is so awesome whenever I am able to assist. I'm a point guard. I played point guard in high school. North Charleston High School to be exact. I love to assist people, and I'm just so glad that we were able to really help this guy out, especially as a new member in the DFS world, especially in the DFS Sweatshop. Awesome night out for you, man. Thank you for allowing us to be there when you need us. Let's go ahead and jump into the featured 4 players of the night. These are the 4 most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS Sweatshop, in the Facebook VIP, as well as the YouTube VIP group that we took over from YouTube to Facebook, and of course on Twitter. We're gonna start with the Who Dat scoring all them points over there. Player of the night. That's gonna be Tyson Chandler. 18% in ownership. 4.6K goes out and goes 10x plus on him. 46.5 DraftKings points. Excellent game we saw from Tyson Chandler. This was a play. It was questionable. There was a point in the day where we may not thought he was going to be playing, but he went out and just had a boss of a game. Awesome game for him, and that's why Tyson Chandler is tonight's Who Dat scoring all on points over there, player of the night. The next guy we're going to talk about is going to be the How Did I Miss That Play? This is a guy who I kind of threw some dirt on in the last show. I just could never really get him right whenever we didn't see Chris Paul on the court with him. His success in the past, from me just watching basketball, has come so much tied to Chris Paul that it's just really hard for me to roster him on a nightly basis with confidence. And we're talking about DeAndre Jordan. How the fuck did I miss you tonight? 21% ownership, so a lot of y'all was on him. 7.5K, goes out and scores 57 DraftKings points. An excellent game we saw from the How Did I Miss That Play tonight, DeAndre motherfucking Jordan. The next player we're going to talk about is going to be the Heat check play tonight. This is a guy who I love. One of my favorite players in the league. I'm talking Kimba, Dame, John Wall. Heat check player tonight is John Wall. 21% owned, 9.6K. Goes out and scores 61.75 DraftKings points. We saw an awesome, excellent game. The Knicks game was a pretty good game, actually. It was a very good game. The Washington Wizards did come out on top of this one, but we saw a really nice game from John Wall, and that's why you, John Wall, salute. You are the Heat check player of the night. The next guy we're going to talk about, because we got to talk about that one motherfucker, you know? And this dude fucked up a perfectly good stat. We go down the lineup and we see, of course, the Heat check player balling. We see Otto Porter can't miss a motherfucking shot, knocking down threes all over the place. We even see Markieff Morris continuing to play well. But they always got to be that one motherfucker. And to make this even worse, Martin Gortat had a fairly decent game. But you got to be the weak link. And that's why tonight, Mr. Stress Fracture in your leg, Bradley Beal, you a motherfucking snowflake with your old snowflake ass. How the fuck you gonna rob us for 7K in salary and bring us back a punk ass measly 17.5 DraftKings points? Do you know that Jason Smith outscored you? Jason Smith outscored you, Bradley. And for that, you a motherfucking snowflake with your old snowflake ass, and I ain't gonna roster you again. Until we get another one of them little 4 or 5 game slates. I need you to complete my stack. I'm gonna give you another shot. But tonight, you a motherfucking snowflake. Let's get on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Now, normally, I jump into a best DraftKings lineup, but it's kind of late. This show's gonna come out a little later than it normally does. My best DraftKings lineup was 285. Fuck it. I'm gonna show you, just so you don't think I'm bullshitting. I'm gonna show you. This is my very best DraftKings lineup. I did not hit the 300 club. I was not a member tonight, but I played lightly. I was a little uncomfortable with Slate, and just didn't have the showing that I really want night in and night out. So we're gonna go ahead and look at my best DraftKings lineup. I'm gonna give you some thoughts of why I rostered this lineup the way I did, just so it may be able to help someone going forward. Yes, this is it right here. Now, this is the Washington stack that I've been telling y'all I was going to play. I was like, yo, last night's show, I was like, oh, roll out you a Washington stack, play a Washington stack. And I want to show you that I'm not just saying that just to say that. I'm not like the other sites that's going to tell you, oh, play this, play that, play this, and don't fucking play them. I played them. That's what I did. And, of course, we looked at the Washington stack here. John Wall, Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, Markieff Morris. I really wanted to get some exposure to that the Cleveland and the Phoenix game. So I took a shot at Eric Bledsoe. He had a really good game. Channing Frye, I liked him already ahead of Tristan Thompson, which he probably wouldn't have had, the great game that he had, that 39-point game, if we didn't see Tristan Thompson leave the game. But I was lucky on that one. Got him in there good. I started Mo Buckets to have a late night hammer as well as Austin Rivers. This lineup finished at 285.5 DraftKings points. It was my best showing of the night. It did cash in several spots. As you can see, I had it a couple times in the tournament. So that was that. And let's go ahead and jump into a recap of last night's 5 games. We do that so we can know where we've been, so we can get a good look at where we're going to be going in the future. Let's go ahead and get the logo back up ready. And isn't it beautiful to see the logo? Not just the logo, but it's beautiful to see the logo in first place. Thank you again. Dennis Sin, thank you. Mike and Patsy, thank you. So many other people tonight had their logo sit up in first place, and people were looking up at us. The industry, a lot of cats in the industry, the big wigs, the 10%, they're looking up at the DFS sweatshop tonight. So let's go ahead and jump to a quick recap of last night's 5 games. We are going to start in Cleveland, where the Cavaliers were going up against the Phoenix Suns. This game was a 13.5-point spread. The Cleveland Cavs did cover that. We didn't see Kevin Love. Start on the Phoenix side, where Tyson Chandler balled the fuck out. In 29 minutes, he had 22 points, 16 boards, 1 assist, and 1 block while shooting 64% from the field. A really nice game from him. TJ Warren awoke from his slumber and had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 block while shooting 66% from the field in 39 minutes. He did lead the team in minutes. Eric Bledsoe, awesome game from him. He fell 1 assist shy of that double-double bonus. He did have 22 points, 9 assists, 6 boards, 4 steals, while shooting 7 for 21. That is 33% from the field. So if he has a regular shooting, 46% shooting percentage, he balls out. That didn't happen tonight. Devin Booker also had a really nice game. He had 21 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and made 4 of 12 field goals for 33 points. And that's why they lost this game. They just did not shoot collectively on the perimeter really well. So on the Cleveland side, really nice game from LeBron James. The King had, in 39 minutes, he had 21 points, 9 rebounds, 15 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks, and damn near had a triple-double on him while shooting 8 for 12 from the field. Did not make a 3, but he took 2 of them. Pretty decent game we saw from LeBron James at that price point. James Jones got the start and had 14 points and 2 assists to go with 1 block. He only played 20 minutes. We saw a nice one from Iman Shumpert in his time on the court. In 29 minutes, he had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. And Channing Frye doubled in his 29 minutes after we saw Tristan Thompson go down with that finger injury. He had 18 points and 10 boards to go with 2 assists and 1 steal. Kyrie Irving had a pedestrian showing. In his 32 minutes, he had 26 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. The next game I'm going to talk about, Miami Heat at the Dallas Mavericks, at home against the Dallas Mavericks. And I'm going to tell you, man, Whiteside he's on life support with me. Whiteside is on life support with me. That dude is almost fucking dead. He's had a horrible string of games. And the one game he did play well in, I wasn't on him. He owes me money. But I told you I didn't like him on last night's show. I told you I didn't. I had him in one lineup of the 5 that I put in, and I just really didn't like it. But I just did not want to be the guy that didn't roster Whiteside on a night where he goes off. That didn't happen. On the Dallas side, we saw a really nice game from Wesley Matthews, who I did like coming into tonight. He had 18 points and 5 boards to go with an assist. Also had a block while shooting 50% from the field and going 4 for 9 from 3. That's pretty good shooting from behind the arc. He played 36 minutes. Harrison Barnes, 15 and 7 to go with 2 assists and 1 steal. Not a great game from him. Dirk Nowitzki had 19 and 4 and played a lot at the 5. He also had 1 assist and 2 steals while shooting 43% from the field and 2 for 6 from behind the arc. Below Brad, Seth Curry got the start, and in 31 minutes he had 15 and 4. Not a great game there. Darren Williams underwhelmed. In his 31 minutes, he had 6 points, 3 boards, and 9 assists to go 2 for 8 from the field. Not a great game from him. JJ Barea in his 16 minutes had 13 and 1 to go with 1 assist. Not a great game there either. And that is why the Dallas Mavericks lost this game to the Miami Heat. On the Heat side, the only guy that really had a nice game was Goran Dragic. 37 minutes. He had 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And I saw something early in the day that's like, yo, this dude leads the league in drives per game. 13.6 drives per game. He leads the league. So he is attacking the basket. And I knew that the Dallas Mavericks didn't have that rim protection. So I took a shot on Goran Dragic in a few lineups, and it definitely paid off. Like I said, had 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Pretty good game there. Tyler Johnson was second on the team in scoring. He had 23 points in his 27 minutes off of the bench. Also a rebound, 2 assists, and 1 steal while shooting 53% from the field and hit both of his 3-point shots. Uh, Dion Waiters, 31 minutes, chucking up uh, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 5 for 12 from the field. Not a great game there from him. The next game I'm going to talk about is my New York Knicks. We continue to lose the close game. Um, let's start with the Washington side, though, man, because Markieff Morris continues to play decently, man. 35 minutes for him. He had 14.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks while shooting 54% from the field and hit 2 of 3 from behind the arc. And they were hitting on all cylinders, bro. Like they had a really good 3-point shooting game as a whole. The Washington Wizards did. Otto Porter in 30 minutes had 23 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, and shot 6 for 10. That's 60% from behind the arc. He also shot 53% overall from the floor, going 7 of 13. Martin Gortat finally doubled in his 29 minutes. He had 12 points, 12 boards, 2 assists. Pretty good game there from him. And John Wall, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 steals, while shooting 52% from the field, going 11 for 21. Nice game we saw from the Heat check player tonight, who was John Wall. And Bradley Beal, with his old snowflake ass, played 37 minutes, led the team in fucking minutes, and had 8 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Horrible game, shooting 30%. He shot the lowest percentage of everyone who played tonight. Trey Burke had a better shooting percentage. Thomas Sotorensky had a better shooting percentage. Jason Smith outscored this motherfucker. And you a damn snowflake, and fucked up my stat. New York side of the ball, was really funny because once we knew that we were gonna see Kristaps, a lot of people were like, "Oh fuck it, man, I'm moving all around. I'm not playing O'Quinn. I'm not playing this guy. I'm not playing that guy." And on FanDuel, I made a lineup at the last minute, and I was looking for the Hernan Gomez dude because I was gonna give him a play anyway. Well, I ended up starting his brother that plays for Denver, Willie Hernan Gomez, DNP, did not play. Coach's decision. His brother for Denver balled out and had almost 20 FanDuel points. Go figure. Uh, Carmelo Anthony, nice game. 35 minutes for him. He had 34 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal, and scored 25 of the 34 in the third quarter. Really good game there from Carmelo Anthony. The Kuzminskis kid, 18 minutes for him, very limited. Has 6 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. Not a good game for him. Kyle O'Quinn balled the fuck out in this game, and I know I said he was dead to me, but I did have him in the lineup. And for that, the reason why maybe that was the reason why he didn't play much in the second half because he really didn't want to help me get to the cash line. He had 14 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, and 1 steal to go with 3 blocks. Pretty decent game there from him. Derrick Rose had 20 points and 5 boards to go with 2 assists in his 31 minutes while shooting 43% from the field. Pretty decent game there. Kristaps in his first game back from injury in 28 minutes had 15 and 5 to go with 2 assists and 1 steal. Let's go on to the next game. It's going to be the San Antonio Spurs at home against the Denver Nuggets. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it right now, man. Jokic is a fucking boss, bro. That dude's a fucking bro. If you don't know now, you know. Nikola Jokic is a fucking boss. In 37 minutes, dude had 35 points, 12 boards, and 4 assists, 2 blocks, while shooting 63% from the field like a big man should. Take notes, Boogie. And he hit 2 of 4 3-pointers. Awesome game we saw from Nikola Jokic. Will Barton in 35 minutes had 18 and 3 to go with 7 assists, 2 blocks. Decent game from him. We saw a nice one off of the bench for Jamal Murray, 13 points, 6 boards, and 2 assists while shooting 4 for 15 from the field, 26%. So if he has a better shooting percentage, he really can make some hay in some tournaments. Didn't see much else from anybody else. Gallinari didn't play. We didn't see. Of course, we knew that we weren't going to see Wilson Chandler, so they were very undermanned. The only guy that really fucked up this whole thing was Kenneth Faried, man. He played 5 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. Not a great game from him at all. On the San Antonio side, we saw a really nice one from Kawhi Leonard, 34 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block, while shooting 54% from the field, 8 for 8 for free throws, and 2 for 5 from behind the arc. Good game there. David Lee got the start at the last minute. We found out that Paul Gasol was not going to play. He has a finger situation. Also, Tony Parker was not going to play. And this is worse than getting popped because, I mean, I mean, we should have known this early in the day when it came to Tony Parker. We should have known about Tony Parker early in the day, but you couldn't avoid what happened with Paul Gasol because he got injured right before game time. So he's not a snowflake. I can't say too much about it, but that was a very really tough break if you had Paul Gasol in any of your lineups. Danny Green in his 22 minutes had 5 and 1 rebound with 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. We saw a nice game, of course, from DeJounte Murray. 24 points for him. He had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, while shooting 63% from the field and 3 for 5 from behind the arc. Pretty good game there. Uh, Last game on the slate is the LA Clippers at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And like I said, man, without Chris Paul, this is a bad team. This is just a bad team. The one bright spot tonight on the team, though, on the Clippers side, was DeAndre Jordan. In 39 minutes, he had 29 points and 16 boards with 2 assists, 2 blocks, and he shot 5 for 12 from the free throw line. Not a good free throw shooting night, of course, from DeAndre Jordan, but he got it done in so many other categories. He definitely helped you to get to the cash line. Raymond Felton got the start, and in 34 minutes, he had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, while shooting 41% from the field. Pretty good game there. We didn't see much off of the bench from Jamal Crawford. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. Not a great game for him. And Austin Rivers, the coach's son, had 20 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists to go with the block in his 35 minutes. Didn't see much else from anyone else on the LA Clippers bench. On the Minnesota side, man, Cat balled out. Karl-Anthony Towns had a really nice game. 40 minutes for him leading the team. He had 37 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, while shooting 17 for 24 from the field. That is 70%, and also hit 1 of 2 3-pointers. Pretty good game there. Didn't see much from Zach LaVine. He did play 39 minutes and had 9 points and 6 rebounds to go with 2 assists and 1 steal. Ricky Rubio got injured in this game, so we saw a lot of Chris Dunn and Tyus Jones. They both did not have very good games. We saw most of the scoring load fall to Karl-Anthony Towns, and he definitely took that up with a reckless abandon. We saw a pretty decent game for a moment from Gorgie Jang, 13 points, 7 boards, and 1 assist. But when it came down to the end of the game, he just was not on the floor. He just didn't get much minutes. He played 25 minutes. Andrew Wiggins had 27 points and 4 rebounds with 4 assists and a block, while shooting 47% from the field, hit 1 of 2 3-pointers and 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Now that we have recapped last night's games, let's go ahead and jump into a very quick player pricing. Tomorrow we got a juicy 9-game slate, boy. And usually I don't look at it, but I had to because my night was kind of whack. It was kind of whack. It was just whack. So I looked and I did, and I got to be honest with you, I saw some things I really like. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're gonna be pulling up the 9-game slate, and we're gonna go over everyone, see where the values are, see what we really like, who we really like, and we're gonna X some guys off of the list. We're gonna add some guys in there automatically. Now let's go ahead and look at this, okay? So this is interesting right here. We've got a 9-game slate, complete 9-game slate. Let me blow this up for you. We got a complete 9-game slate. That's how many games are tomorrow. Starts at 7 o'clock. Let's move over a little bit. We've got a 5-game turbo. I looked already. These are some juicy games. And if you want to narrow your player pool without you doing it yourself, just take what DraftKings gives you in this turbo. Create a lineup here. Throw that bitch in the main. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. We've also got a 2-game late slate. This starts at 8 o'clock for all of my tilters, the guys who just think these lineups are done and just want to get back in there. You can definitely do that on the 2-game slate there. But back to this. Make some lineups here, just in the turbo. Throw the motherfuckers in the main, bro. I'm telling you. It's going to help. You're going to see the difference. So, let's go ahead, put up that full 9-game slate, and we're going to jump into it, man. And we're not going to go position by position because I care about you and I don't want to mislead you like the other sites do. So we're going to talk about game flow, and we're going to discuss each individual player and the game they're going to be playing in and see if we can find the value that we really like when it comes to these guys, okay? We're going to start, of course, with the highest salaried guy on the slate. As I take a sip of the Coca-Cola, no strong drink for me tonight. I had to refrain. And tonight, this seems like everybody's in a great matchup. So the lineups are going to be all over the place. If you stick to your player pool and you do well, I think the cash line is going to be pretty high tomorrow, just based off all of the matchups and the scoring that we do have. Look at the point totals already. Most of them are over 200. So we got James Harden against the Golden State Warriors. If this game is in Golden State, I would not like James Harden as much. But the fact that this game is at home and we've got James Harden off a day of rest, I do like James Harden tomorrow. 12.2K. This is going to be a barn burner, I think. I don't think this game is going to blow out worth a damn. I think it's going to be fairly close into the third quarter, deeply into the third quarter, where we see a full allotment of minutes for a lot of other players involved. I like James Harden tomorrow. Anthony Davis, perfect matchup for him. This is an excellent matchup for Anthony Davis, and he's in prime spot to like go the fuck off. But he ain't gonna be none of my lineups. I can't deal with that glass man shit, brother. I can't do it. You got to be healthy. I can't deal with the glass shit. Next guy we're gonna talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo in a really good matchup against the Orlando Magic. I like him tomorrow at 10.6. One of my favorite plays again on the board is going to be Kevin Durant at 10.5. These guys were once teammates. They love to get up for these games and play each other really well. That's why I think we're going to see a nice game from James Harden as well as Kevin Durant. DeMarcus Cousins is not in play for me tomorrow at 10.2. The price is really high. He's going to be going up against probably one of the slowest paced teams in the league, which his team is actually one of the slower paced teams in the league. I don't think I'm going to go to DeMarcus Cousins tomorrow. Jimmy Butler, even though this is a -5, the fifth ranked DVP against the small forward position, I like Jimmy Butler because he's kind of their only fucking real scoring threat. So I do like Jimmy Butler tomorrow at 8.9K. And if we don't see Taj Gibson tomorrow, somebody's going to have to do some more rebounding and pick up the defensive load. Jimmy Butler is the man to do that. I like Steph Curry tomorrow at 8.7. Even though he's going to be seeing Pat Beverly defense, I think this game is going to stay close enough to it. We see a lot of Steph Curry. He's going to have a really good role in this game. Dame Lillard at Philadelphia, sign me the fuck up. 8.5, love it. Joel Embiid, you know how I feel about Embiid. I'm not paying that much for that dude. I'm just not. I'm just not paying for a minutes restriction. I'm not going to do it. If I lose because I don't roster Joel Embiid, then I need to fucking lose. I'm not doing it. Kyle Lowry, another prime spot. I wanted to go to this game tomorrow. It's in Charlotte, but we already went. That's enough. I like Kyle Lowry tomorrow against Kimba at 8.3. DeMar DeRozan is in play for me at 8.2. I think tomorrow is one of those times where you can go ahead and fire up your Kyle Lowry and your DeMar DeRozan. I think it's going to be a really good way to go. Kemba Walker, he's at the crib. What more do you want me to say? I like Kemba Walker at home. This is the 17th ranked defense versus the point guard position. I like that a lot tomorrow. Draymond Green is not so much in play for me tomorrow at 7.9. Jeff Teague, probably in the best position on the board tomorrow at point guard, going up against the 22nd ranked DVP against the point guard position, coming off a really nice game, 7.9K, still a little pricey for him. I think he can return value tomorrow. Paul George, I like him at 7.8. Now, funny thing about this is Luol Deng is one of the league's best defenders at the small forward position. So I'm not going to have as much Paul George as the field is. If I put in 10 lineups, I might have him in one, but I think he can have a nice game. Gordon Hayward is definitely a play for me. The price is down on him, 7.6K. I like that tomorrow. Paul Millsap is a yes for me at 7.5. I like him. Nicholas Batum, of course, 7.4. I like him. Mike Conley's in a really good matchup at 7.3 against the Sacramento Kings at the Grindhouse. I like that. CJ McCollum is a no for me tomorrow against the Portland Trailblazers. Against the Philadelphia 76ers. Marc Gasol, yes, 29th ranked DVP against the point guard position. You can definitely stack those guys up. I'm talking Marc Gasol and Mike Conley. Jrue Holiday, you always want to attack the Brooklyn Nets. And this is one of the better ways, I think, tomorrow to attack them. That's why he's priced up a little bit, 7.2. He just had a not-so-decent game and was priced at about 6.6. It took him up $600 because they know the Brooklyn Nets suck against point guards. We can definitely use him tomorrow. Rudy Gobert against the number one ranked defense against the center position. That's hogwash. I like Rudy Gobert tomorrow. Julius Randle is in play at 7K. I like him. Dwight Howard is a no for me. Chicago Bulls is the best rebounding team in the league, especially if we see Taj Gibson back tomorrow. I definitely don't like Dwight Howard. Jabari Parker is in play because I like Giannis so much at 6.9. The price is down a little bit. We can go there. Miles Turner is definitely in play against the LA Lakers. I like a couple of those Indiana guys. Brook Lopez, of course, he's in play at 6.8. Vucevic, if he does get the start, I like him tomorrow. D'Angelo Russell is actually in a really good spot too because uh, Jeff Teague is not a very good defender. So we can look to D'Angelo Russell tomorrow. I mean, D'Angelo Russell tomorrow at 6.6K. I like him. Klay Thompson is my favorite shooting guard player on the board so far at 6.5. I like him. George Hill is a no for me. Dwayne Wade, no for me. Terrence Jones, we can go Terrence Jones. 6.2, I kind of like him tomorrow. Serge Ibaka is a no for me. Rudy Gay is out. Shout out to Rudy Gay, man. Tore the Achilles tendon. Man, really good player, man. I like Rudy Gay a lot. Sorry he had to go out like that. We'll see him next year. Elfrid Payton is not in play for me. Neither is Dennis Schroeder, man. This dude has been on a horrible slump, and until he snaps out of that, I'm not gonna have too much to do with him tomorrow at all. Zach Randolph at 5.8 is in play for me, coming off of the bench and playing well against that Sacramento front court. I like him. Harrison Barnes is a no for me tomorrow. Tyreek Evans, yes. 5.8 is still cheap. I like him. Fire up Tyreek Evans tomorrow. Jonas Valanciunas is in play. You know we can attack the Charlotte Hornets at the in the front court, rebounding the basketball. I like Jonas Valanciunas tomorrow. Malcolm Brogdon is a no for me. Trevor Ariza, yes, 5.7. Pat Bev, yes, 5.6. Eric Gordon, yes, 5.6. I like him. Thaddeus Young, yes, 5.5. Taj Gibson is questionable. If he does play, I kind of like him at 5.4. Aaron Gordon is a no for me. Dirk Nowitzki is a no for me. Darren Collison, no. And the Grindhouse, a point guard, and the Grindhouse, no, I'm not doing that. Evan Fournier, he's still out. Darren Williams, now he's projected in a couple of models that I've been seeing as one of the top point guard values tomorrow, and I just don't see it. I don't agree. So I'm not going to have too much Darren Williams tomorrow. Not against the Utah Jazz. This is going to be probably the lowest point total on the board. Look at these two teams. They are very slow in pace, and I really don't like Darren Williams tomorrow. Ursan Ilyasova is in play for me at 5.3. I like him. Trevor Booker is a no at 5.3. Derek Favors, no. TJ McConnell, if he does get the start, yes, you can go TJ McConnell at 5.2. Robert Covington is a no for me. Mason Plumlee, I like him at 5.2. Even though he's going to be seeing Joel Embiid, I still think we can get a nice return on that 5.2K salary. It did go down some. Michael K. Gilchrist is a yes for me at 5.1. I even like Cody Zeller tomorrow at 5K flat. We can go to that. Greg Monroe, it's probably going to be decent play. I just wish he was starting. Just because he's not starting, and this is such a big slate, I'm going to have money to roster starters. And I'm not going to, hope that the guy starting plays bad so that we can see more Greg Monroe. Because if John Henson starts out pretty hot, then we're not going to see as much Greg Monroe as we bargained for. So I will not be going there tomorrow. Al-Farouq Aminu, he is definitely in play at 5K flat. Jeremy Lin is still out. DeMar Carroll is questionable. Probably will not play tomorrow. 4.9K if he does. I don't like him. Montrezl Harrell is a no for me. Tim Hardaway Jr., no. Ryan Anderson, if he does play, I kind of like him at 4.8. Marvin Williams, yes, 4.7. I'm interested in him. No for Nikolai Mirotic. Wesley Matthews is a no for me. Back-to-back Utah Jazz, nah, I'm good on that. Sweet Lou Williams is definitely in play at 4.6. I think he's a play we need to really pay attention to. I like Sweet Lou Williams tomorrow. Kent Bazemore, of course, is dead to me. I will have no part of that. Jeremy Lamb could come back tomorrow. If he does, that means we got to curb our enthusiasm about Marco Bellinelli because he's going to cut into his minutes. Tony Allen is in play definitely at 4.5K tomorrow against the Sacramento Kings. I like JaMychal Green at 4.5. Jody Meeks is going to be out because he broke his finger, I believe. Nerlens Noel at 4.5 against Portland. You can have your way against Portland as a big, but I just don't like Nerlens Noel's skill set. I need him to be able to score the ball, and that's just not something he does with consistency. Bojan Bogdanovic is in play at 4.5. Michael Carter-Williams is in play. This is probably another one of my favorite point guard plays on the slate because even though the primary ball handler for the Chicago Bulls is going to be Jimmy Butler, uh, Atlanta sucks against point guards, and they always have great games. Point guards have great games against the Atlanta Hawks. If you're trying to get to the All-Star game, you should play the Atlanta Hawks like 41 times. Michael Carter-Williams can definitely have a nice game against Dennis Schroeder. He's bigger, he's fast. He's bigger and he's stronger than him. He can take him to the basket, take him off with a dribble. I like Michael Carter-Williams tomorrow at 4.4K. That is a value play I will definitely have in my lineups tomorrow. Dougie McBuckets is a no for me. Robin Lopez. If we don't see Taj Gibson, I kind of like Lopez because somebody's got to do the cleanup, dirty work, and get those rebounds. Joe Ingles is in play for me at 4.4. Rodney Hood is going to be out. We may see Ingles get the start. If that's the case, I like him even more. Anthony Tolliver is not in play for me. Dario Saric is, yes, as a deep sleeper play. Okafor has played himself out of the rotation. I don't like him. Garrett Temple, no. Sergio, no. Luol Deng, if he does play, I don't like Paul George as much at all. If he doesn't play, and we see Brandon Ingram at 4.2, I like him tomorrow. Matt Barnes is a no for me. Michael Beasley isn't play at 4.1. Shelvin Mack is a no for me. Evan Turner is a no for me. Sean Kilpatrick, no. Jordan Clarkson, yes, at 4.1. I like Jordan Clarkson tomorrow. Lucas Nogueira, he probably will not be playing tomorrow. Ty Lawson may sit again too. And Clint Capella, his minutes are still being monitored, so I don't think we can roster him with any sort of confidence. Maurice Harkless is a yes at 4K. I even like Rondae Hollis Jefferson tomorrow at 4K flat, especially if he gets to start. I like him. Rajon Rondo is a no for me. Even though this is a very juicy matchup, I just can't trust the minutes that we are going to see from Rajon Rondo. Lil Bruh is not in play for me. Nick Young is mildly in play for me just because he's under 4K. Anytime you got a guy that's going to start a game and can shoot as hot as Nick Young can do, he can return that value in his first 5 shots in the first half, and then just get you more from there. So I've got to say I may take a look at Nick Young tomorrow. Corey Joseph is a no. Terrence Ross is a no for me. Marco Bellinelli, if we know for sure that we're not going to see Jeremy Lamb tomorrow, I do like Marco Bellinelli. Frank Kaminsky, no. Andrew Harrison, no. Alan Crabb, no. Rashawn Holmes, no. Thabo, he's in play because he's so cheap at 3.6. I think we might, if he's starting, again, I do like him. JJ Barea is a no for me. Spencer Dinwiddie, now if he gets to start ahead of Isaiah Whitehead, we can use him tomorrow. If not, no. Spencer Hawes is a no. Omri Caspi is a no. Let's go ahead and find that cheap guy. Look at Sam Decker sitting here at 3.5. I like him, as well as Andre Iguodala at 3.5. I like him. Jaja is still very cheap, although I will not be going that direction tomorrow. Sauce, no. I'm not good. I'm good on that. Larry Nance still out. Jerry and Grant is a no for me. Ramon Sessions is a no. Vince Carter is in play at 3.4. He's very cheap, and he does see between 15 and 22 minutes. I like him. Bismack Biyombo is a no for me. Sean Livingston is a no. Joe Johnson is a no. Tim Frazier, no. Buddy Hield, he could be in play. Buddy Hield at 3.4K. He's going to be getting a start against Brooklyn Nets. I think he's definitely in play. Justin Hamilton, yes, he's in play for me as a punt option. Yeah, the power forward center position. Chris Humphries is a no. Let's find that cheap guy. Let's find that 3K guy that's going to get us to the cash line tomorrow. All right. That's an interesting play, Jared Sullinger. We got to check on his minutes to see where they're going to be. Because if Lucas Nogueira is out and Sullinger gets a little bit of run, he may have a decent game at that 3K salary. We need to check on that going forward. Also, maybe Aaron Aflalo at 3K could be a decent play. Troy Daniels at 3K could be a decent game against the Sacramento Kings. Not too much to look at in the 3K area. Costa Kufis, 3K. Now, somebody's got to play because Rudy Gay's going to be out. So it's going to be up to him and Matt Barnes to man the middle with Boogie. That's a play you can definitely look at tomorrow. 3K, I kind of like him. So here we are. We have recapped the games. We've talked about the featured 4 players. We've gotten into a very quick player pool pricing. Now, let's go ahead and jump to the point total for tomorrow because we want to know where we're going to be investing our salary. We already got a list in our head. We've already come up with some guys that we like, some core plays. I'm going to leave the higher price guys up there for you to look at. Let's go ahead and jump into a detailed description of tomorrow's 9-game NBA slate. And I kind of want to pull up what those 5 games would be, because we're going to get a little more in-depth when it comes to our slate recognition and where we want to attack slates. I get a lot of questions about this all the time, so let's look at a lineup, and we're going to do like almost a sample lineup, if you will. Create it. There. We're gonna hit the 5-game turbo up. And let's pull a list of games out here. So, on the 5-game turbo state, look at the games we have. All right. We've got Brooklyn, New Orleans. A lot of fantasy goodness involved in that game. Cheap stuff too. Chicago, Atlanta. We're attacking the point guard position, Chicago and Atlanta. Maybe make that a little bigger for you. We've got Golden State and Houston, probably the most popular game on the slate. Gonna be a lot of points in there. We've got Sacramento and Memphis, and we've got Utah and Dallas. So those are all really good games to attack, especially on that in that turbo uh, lineups that we can enter into the main slate, right? So let's go ahead and jump to that quick point total review. We're gonna start in Charlotte, where the Hornets will be taking on the Toronto Raptors. Now this game right now is even. The point total is 214.5 points. I like both perimeter games in this game. I also like to attack the Charlotte Hornets with as far as their rebounding goes. We can do that with Jonas Valanciunas. So there's a lot that I like about this game already. It's probably my favorite of all of the early games because the other ones I don't think they're going to be as close as the point spread say. So this is a 214.5 point total with the Toronto Raptors even with the Charlotte Hornets. We can look at Kemba at home, of course. That has been a sweatshop law for a very long time. Nick Batum is going to be in a good spot against DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, in turn, is going to be a really good spot against Batum. And we can also look to Kyle Lowry because he's just Kyle Lowry. He's really good. So this can be a really nice game to target, especially if you wanted to do some stacks and correlations. I suggest you go here with it. Cody Zeller, so-so play. I think MKG can be a really nice play in this game. So we've got a lot of good fantasy options when it comes to the very first game on the slate, and this game starts at 7 o'clock. The next game we're going to talk about is the Milwaukee Bucks going to Orlando to take on the Magic. 210-point total, not bad at all. The Orlando Magic are getting 2.5 points from the Milwaukee Bucks. This to me is a Giannis Jabari game. Those are the two players that just pops out to me when it comes to this Milwaukee offense. I really like those guys a lot. We can definitely look to Michael Beasley in this game off of the bench. On the Orlando side, I just don't like Elfrid Payton in this game. I just think, the Milwaukee Bucks, they do restrict point guards. And so do the Orlando Magic. But we know, like, that dude is not a real point guard. He's a fucking freak. Talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, so he's definitely in play. You can look to Nikolai Vucevic if you like. I wish he would. If he's in the starting rotation, you can definitely do that. Because him going up against John Henson in the beginning is going to be murder for John Henson. So I do like Nikolai Vucevic in some spots tomorrow. Also, you can look at Serge Ibaka as well. This is going to be a really good rebounding game for the Orlando side, and I think that that's where you're going to be able to take advantage is in the low block when it comes to that's where you're looking to take advantage of the Milwaukee Bucks is in the low block as far as the Orlando Magic are concerned. The next game I'm going to talk about is a 209.5 point total with the Portland Trailblazers traveling to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. The Trailblazers are giving up 1.5 points. So Philadelphia is a home dog. If we see Joel Embiid, he is 100% rosterable. I won't have any of them because I don't like that minutes restriction, but I will try to get pieces of the game, especially big game Dame Lillard going against TJ McConnell, who's a solid defender, but Dame is a superior talent. I really see Dame getting off in this game. The one guy that I see is going to be kind of limited and restricted is going to be CJ McCollum. I don't like him. The Philadelphia 76ers play pretty good point guard, shooting guard defense. So he's not somebody who I would really roster with confidence tomorrow, but I do like Dame Lillard. I think Al-Farouq Aminu is definitely in play in this game as well as Mason Plumlee. On the Philadelphia side, I think Dario Saric is somebody you look at for the cheap, but if you wanted to pay up, Ersan Ilyasova can get it done for you. And of course, if TJ McConnell starts, he's been playing so well lately, you've got to give him a shot. Dame Lillard is not a great on-ball defender anyway. I think they kind of teach them to not play defense, but to play the passing lanes when it comes to the Portland defense because they just never lock down a guy. But they always getting those tip steals and running it back to the other side, getting the easy lay-ins and getting out in transition. So I really think TJ McConnell can be a decent play tomorrow. Next game I'm going to talk about, one of the lower point totals on the slate. It's going to be the Chicago Bulls going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. This is a 203-point total, with the Atlanta Hawks giving up 5, the home favorite, to the Chicago Bulls. Like I said earlier, I think Michael Carter-Williams is going to go very low on tomorrow. I think it's going to be a mistake because you can manhandle Atlanta at the point guard position, and I think he's just the guy to get that done, which is why I also like Jimmy Butler in this game. Dwayne Wade is a no for me. I don't like Dwayne Wade at all in this game. I think Thabo Sefolosha is going to play pretty good defense on him if he does get start. And the low block If you don't see Taj Gibson, you can look to Robin Lopez for the cheap. If Gibson plays, I do like Gibson. On the Atlanta side, I think Paul Millsap can be a decent play. I don't like Dwight Howard at all in this game, and I do not like Dennis Schroeder. The next game we're going to talk about is going to be the Houston Rockets at home against the Golden State Warriors. This is a prime time tip-off. Starts at 8 o'clock. 236 is the point total with only a 5-point differential. That is awesome. That's telling me to get a piece of this game. That's telling me to stack the shit out of this game in the turbo, but enter that same lineup in the main. Because if we got 236 points with only a 5-point differential, this is tasty right here. And there's a ton of guys that we can look at. I like Kevin Durant in this game on the Golden State side. I like Steph Curry. But I love Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson is going to be one of the best shooting guard plays on the night. He is already core 4 consideration. I love Klay Thompson tomorrow. I think we're going to see a very decent game from Draymond Green. But for the price point with him at the center power forward position, there's other places that I think I'm going to go to get that value where it's not going to be fighting for touches. On the Houston side, James Harden is definitely playable. I like James Harden tomorrow. I like Gordon tomorrow. I even like Ariza. And Pat Bev is definitely a consideration because you know that Steph Curry does not play good defense. He doesn't play any defense at all against the point guard position. I think he's going to be a really nice play. The one spot that I would not attack either of these teams is in the post because they just get out so quick and they run in transition. Mike D'Antoni has the Houston Rockets running. We already know what Steve Kerr is about. These teams do get out in transition and they virtually render the center position useless when they play other teams. So imagine what they're going to do when they play each other. This game is probably going to be the first 5 minutes they're going to have a real center on the floor. Rest of the game, it's going to be small ball. It's going to be really fun, really exciting, a lot of rebounding and a lot of assists, especially from the Golden State side. They lead the league in assist and pace. So this is you've got to get a piece of this Golden State team tomorrow. You've got to. And I think the cheapest way, the most cost-effective way to do it is going to be with Klay Thompson. The next game we're going to talk about is going to be the Sacramento Kings going to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies at the Grindhouse. This is a 200.5 point total. So this, as of right now, is the lowest point total on the slate. However, I think the Dallas and Utah game is going to prove to be the lowest, but we've got injury concerns there. Let's go ahead. I like Mike Conley automatically. I think automatically Mike Conley is going to be a really good play. 200.5 point total with the Memphis Grizzlies giving up 7. They are a home favorite. I love Conley. I like Gasol. The only thing is, I think this differential is bullshit, and I think Memphis is going to walk the dog with the Sacramento Kings, and they're going to get blown the fuck out. And we may not see a full allotment of minutes from the guys that we need from the Memphis side, Boogie included. So I don't think I like too much about the Memphis side of this game. I will not invest that much salary in DeMarcus Cousins in a spot where I don't think I'm going to see him for the full 4 quarters. As far as the other guys on the Sacramento Kings, the only guy I really kind of like, I think Matt Barnes is really viable for the cheap, as well as maybe Omri Caspi and Costa Kufis. I think we can also give consideration to Darren Collison. He likes to hit the chicks, but he's been playing pretty well lately, and I think he's going to be a nice play tomorrow, whether the game blows out or not. The next game I'm going to talk about, one of my favorite games on the slate of the later games, the 8 o'clock game, is going to be the Brooklyn Nets going to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. This game does not yet have a point total involved with it. We know we're not going to see Jeremy Lin. We know that we did see a tweak with Anthony Davis the last time out. They say he's healthy, he's good to go. He's probably going to be playing tomorrow. I won't have any of them. Most of my exposure in this game is going to come either through Drew Holiday attacking the Brooklyn Nets. It's going to come the perimeter. It's going to come through Tyreek Evans attacking them on the wing. And on the other side of the ball, it's going to come from Brook Lopez. And if Spencer Dinwiddie is playing, I have a very cheap point guard punt option. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Utah-Dallas game, with Dallas being the home team. There's no points total for this game yet, but I do like Gordon Hayward. I think Gordon Hayward's going to be a really nice play in this game. Even though it's probably going to be one of the lower point totals, if not the lowest point total on the slate, there's still some exposure to be had on the Utah side through Gordon Hayward as well as Rudy Gobert. On the Dallas side, there is not much to like in this game at all. Now, the one weakness that the Utah Jazz have is they give up a lot of points to the shooting guard position, and I think maybe Wesley Matthews is on a hot streak right now, and you might be able to use him. The last game on the slate is going to be the Indiana Pacers traveling to LA, take on the Lakers. Juicy game here. Juicy game here. Because essentially, both of these teams are right between being a bad team and a decent team that's trying to figure shit out. They're both in that same limbo. And, it's a 220 point total. That is a very nice point total for the last game on the slate. You're going to get your late night hammers in here, a lot of shots, a lot of rebounds, a lot of transition, a lot of scoring and assists, steals too. Um, on the Lakers side, probably one of my favorite players is going to be Lou Williams. I like him, and I like D'Angelo Russell. Now, Julius Randle is in play for me, but it's going to be tough grabbing rebounds against Miles Turner as well as Thad Young, who I do like more because he's cheaper than Julius Randle. On the Indiana side, I love Jeff Teague. I think he's going to be a really nice play tomorrow. Paul George, I will not have too much of him, especially if we find out that Lou Alding is going to be getting a start. If Lou All doesn't, I think we can look to Brandon Ingram to get some quality minutes and to play really well against the Indiana team. Off of the bench, the Indiana bench, CJ Miles deserves a look. If you see that Rodney Stuckey is not going to be playing, I think we can look to C.J. Miles. Miles Turner is definitely in play tomorrow, and Thad Young does deserve a look. So this has been a recap of the games. We talked about the feature four. We went in, did what we normally do in the show, and we brought it all together at the end when it came to our point totals. This has been your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. If you are not an official member of the DFS Sweatshop, go to the website. Get in while you can. It ain't nothing but 2 punk ass quarters a day. $15 a month. A fourth of what the major sites are asking or charging for information that will mislead you. We're not doing that here. The proof is in the pudding. If you don't believe me, go to the Twitter. And you go see what the cats are posting. We the only team out here posting shit like this. Nightly winners. Cats getting to the money. First place. The logo is there for you to see in most tournaments. You see us everywhere. Come on in. Get down. We're growing in strength. We're growing in numbers. If you want to support the show further, because of course you are supporting the show in its purest form by giving me your likes, them 3 punk ass dislikes, them 3 snowflake ass motherfuckers, the same 3 snowflakes, they dislike every video I make. Thank y'all for tuning in with y'all snowflake ass. And if you want to support the show, there's a box over here that says support the show. You can definitely click that box, do what it tells you to do. You can send something to my personal PayPal at simmonsmaurice95 at yahoo.com. Or, like I said, you can join the DFS Sweatshop website and become a full-fledged, complete access member at www.dfssweatshop.com. No matter what you do, I don't care how you do it or what you do, remember, in the DFS Sweatshop, the goal is to always, always keep it 300.